What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and it appears that they are sabotaging Donald Trump. They are, though the powers that be are continuing to foment escalation after escalation. And news this morning, as many of you have probably heard, Russia fired an ICBM missile, which is an intercontinental ballistic missile, into Ukraine, striking several targets. This is the very first time in history an ICBM has ever been used in war. And this is a very, very clear sign. This is some say a saber rattle, given that the warhead itself was innate. Damage, not that much. But it was obviously a message saying the next one's going to have a nuke in it. And this comes after Biden authorized U.S.-made ballistic missiles to go into Russia. Then Biden authorized anti-personnel landmines, which I thought had been prohibited in warfare, but I guess I'm not an expert on that. The deep state, or the powers that be, whatever you want to call them, they are doing everything in their power to start World War III. Even The Hill this morning literally reported just 2 hours ago, World War III is Donald Trump's to lose. Why on earth is the Joe Biden administration, Kamala Harris administration, continuing to fan the flames of this? Well, I'll explain. Huge shout out. Wait, I think this is the wrong article here. Real quick. What's interesting to me about all of this is just how ho-hum we've all become to it. Now, I'm not going to Chicken Little, and I think ultimately cooler heads will prevail. But at the end of the day, you can only poke the bear so many times, and we've been doing that for 2 years now. I do want to shout out, not the best video topic for it, but coffee. My company, Coffee Brand Coffee, has rolled out our winter collection, the first two of our winter flavors. These are delicious. If you like coffee, I promise you, you will love these. Sugar plum and gingerbread coffee. I worked on these for the last 4 months to get them just right. Promo code winter sale to save 10%. Limited time only. I would get them today. They are super, super good. World War III, link in the description. World War III is now Trump's to lose. President-elect Donald Trump's true defining moment is coming. Future historians will not judge him based on his 2 impeachments, felony convictions, which are getting thrown out, or his ever-present hyperbole, but whether or not he wins World War III. The mainstream media is literally calling for it. It is so crazy. It is nuts today. This is the media. Like, hey, World War III is here. Now what are you going to do with it, Trump? I mean, what we've been saying that this was going to happen for a long time. So far, the tea leaves are troubling. Many of Trump's key advisors remain in deep denial, as evidenced by President-elect J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard's Trump's choice of Director of National Intelligence. They see his primary role come January 20th as preventing a third global war. They apparently cannot see that it is already in the midst of it. Well, Joe Biden started that. Let me be very clear. The Joe Biden administration started and funded that by stealing American taxpayer dollars. Did you notice the subdued headline yesterday that Joe Biden told Ukraine that they didn't have to pay back the $5 billion they owe us? You see Joe Biden do that? So in the last couple of days, Joe Biden has forgiven $5 billion of United States taxpayer debt to Ukraine. He has authorized anti-personnel landmines, which I thought were forbidden in modern warfare. He has authorized the firing of long-range ballistic U.S.-made missiles, United Kingdom-made missiles, firing into Russia. At what point do you think Russia is going to have enough of this? And if this were just Ukraine, right? I mean, I think if there's ever been a time, and I don't know, what the laws are in terms of what Trump can do. Obviously, I don't think he can do much of anything right now. But he needs to come out strongly and point out what our government's doing. They are starting World War III to hamper Donald Trump's presidency. And they don't care how many tens of thousands or maybe potentially millions of people die because of it. That is what they're doing. Trump may be tired of Russia, 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 but it's the stark reality he will face when he returns to the White House. Russia's not going away. Well, stop attacking them. Stop funding them. Stop funding, sending missiles for these idiots in Ukraine to fire over there. Sorry, I've got no issue with Ukrainian people, but your government is corrupt. Volodymyr Zelensky is corrupt, and he's stealing American tax dollars and participating in what everybody with 2 brain cells can see is a proxy war with Russia. If the United States had not got involved, Russia would have seized the land they wanted, and Ukraine wouldn't have lost 100,000 soldiers doing it either. And Russia wouldn't have lost how many either, right? The American taxpayers wouldn't have been fleeced out of billions of our dollars. Okay, that's what happens if you know, they want to be a member of NATO, or if they're a member of NATO, maybe other things happen, but this is insanity. Again, I am not pro-Russia or pro-Ukraine. I'm pro-America. And it's as plain as day, even to me, a Midwestern bumpkin, that this is just setting up to hamstring President Trump. They were keeping it at a rolling boil for a very long time. And then once he lost the election, it was very obvious that a signal was given, in my opinion anyway, to ramp things up. This in the midst of also 2 large internet cables cut in the Baltic Sea. Many people said, oh, it was from some ship dragging anchor. That's usually not the case because they know about anchors. That's why they're so deep. And now there's a Chinese boat in custody, I've been told, cutting off communication, right? That's what this stuff is about. Now, they say it was limited disruption. Okay. Is that propaganda or is that real? You know, again, I talked about earlier, Biden agrees to give Ukraine anti-personnel mines. U.S. President Joe Biden has agreed to give Ukraine anti-personnel landmines. A U.S. defense official told the BBC, a move that is seen as an attempt to slow Russian troops who have steadily been advancing into Ukraine's east in recent months. The official, who is speaking on condition of anonymity, said such landmines would be delivered soon, and Washington expected that they will be used on Ukraine's territory. Ukraine was also committed to not using the mines in densely populated areas. The official said, out of an abundance of caution, the embassy will be closed. The embassy employees are instructed to shelter in place. This is at the U.S. Embassy, which Putin has now threatened to bomb some U.S. facility that he sees as an escalation in Poland as well now. I mean, either dump or get off of the pot, Biden. Start the war or don't. You know, it's very obvious what you're doing. You're trying to raise the level of heat to a point of no return where you can still maintain plausible deniability. You know? That's basically what they're doing. And they're robbing the American taxpayers in the process. Russia launched its intercontinental ballistic missile on Ukraine. This, again, is saber rattling. But I think at some point, you have to start to believe. You have to start to believe people when they start doing this stuff. You know, a lot of people, I don't know if you know how an ICBM works, but it basically goes up into the upper atmosphere, opens up, and then this was a MIRV, so you have multiple devices in it. It opens up and then will release 6 or 7 maybe missiles. Here's a video of it. These are all innate warheads that could have, you know, obviously been nuclear. This is the exact same device that, what's interesting about this footage, there are no explosions. That may suggest Russia used an ICBM on Ukraine for capability demonstration and deterrence. That is what they're doing. Without utilizing explosive charges, yes, they were innate. I bet they didn't work, or the warhead was schemazed like most Russian equipment. I doubt that. I doubt that. You know, this is like what Iran did to Israel. What they most likely used was inert warheads. Here's a photo of an impact from Kamchatka test. So it does obviously leave a hole, but it doesn't, you know, cause 500 years of radiation. This is obviously very, very, very concerning. Here's another picture of it with sound. You hear the missile. Now it opens up. Boom. Here they come. It just keeps coming because they're all basically floating up. It's obviously some sort of explosion, you know, but they're small. Because, I mean, what is that fire coming from? Maybe excess fuel in the missile? I mean, they could fire 20, 30, 40 of these. And completely, like, let's not, you know, this was a obvious, clear escalation. Now, here's how they actually work. So they go up, right? The nose separates, breaks apart, and then you have all of these smaller warheads that get released and then ignite towards their target. I don't know how accurate they are. I suspect relatively accurate because it seemed like they all kind of hit in the same spot. But, you know, this is very obvious to me that they are trying to start World War III as Joe Biden exits office. And at some point, Russia's going to stop ignoring this stuff, and those warheads are going to be real. And then what? Then we'll have World War III. This is Putin saying enough. And so I obviously disavow all war outside of, you know, self-protection. But it's time for the United States to get out of this. I mean, the best time was the best time was before it ever got started, and every next best time has been every day since. This is very, very scary stuff. Very, very coordinated, in my opinion, by the media, by the Biden administration to fire up World War III after this. Because now what's going to be Kiev's response to this? Right? They're going to fire a bunch more United States missiles into Russia, and then the next warheads are going to be nuclear. And then what? We are very, very, very close. I think it's very easy to like hand swipe this away, but this is what the Joe Biden administration is doing right now. They're pushing us into World War III head first, just because they don't like Trump. I hope you're informed by this video. Hopefully you'll pick up some coffee to enjoy the world burn. Link in the description, promo code WINTERSALE. We'll talk to you again real soon.